How's it going, guys? There's something that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about, and it's about the boundaries of sex and intimacy before marriage, and how I honestly feel it's destroying relationships and basically weakening men. What happened? So basically, I was at a church a few days ago, and I met up with two of my friends, right? One of them just moved into the country, and the other one is a friend I've had for a long time. So, and then the guy who just moved into the country, he said his girlfriend, who is in a serious committed relationship with, is going to be visiting him in this new country, right? So I was like, oh, that's nice. And then my friend is like, oh, that's nice too. So she's going to be staying with you. It's good that your place is ready to receive her, right? And the guy is like, no, she's not going to stay with him. That they are going to rent an Airbnb for her to stay. And then my friend is shocked, like, oh wow, okay. And he asks why. And then the first guy is like, well, just they are trying to avoid anything. They don't want to be tempted, so they just feel they should stay separate. He's going to give her his car to get around town, but she's not going to stay with him in his place. Basically, they are going to rent an Airbnb where he's going to visit her. They will go out and so on and so forth. And I was kind of shocked, and I saw he kind of felt I noticed he felt a bit shy saying it, but I was like, oh, I kind of just spoke up to kind of encourage him. I was like, wow, that's amazing. This is the first time I'm actually hearing this from someone, right? And honestly, personally, that really encouraged me, because I'm someone that recently, in my search to settle down, find a lifetime partner, I kind of told God, I was like, God, you know what? In the past, I've not lived up to this, but Lord, if I'm going to settle down, please, I'm going to make sure I don't do any funny business with this person, right? No sex, no kissing, no necking, no nothing, right? I'm just going to be pure, keep her pure, keep myself pure, right? And just stand on business and, until marriage, right? And I had found that was not a very pleasant position, even for the ladies, right? I tell people that even ladies want to get down, but they don't believe me. Even the ladies, I've spoken to 3 ladies that I have been in contact with, and we've kind of gone out for a while, and they all did not like the idea. We got to a certain point and they were like, oh, why are you saying that? This sounds a bit much, right? So, but the thing is, looking back, I realized that, look, for a guy, right, there's something about abstaining that kind of gives you a clear vision, a kind of clear eyes to actually look at the person you are dating, right? Because now the burden of, oh, we're kissing each other, oh, we're always talking, we're always hanging out, oh, even if she has a terrible attitude, there's intimacy that I'm enjoying and I really like. All that is there, right? And there is that there, and basically, if you take off the sex off the table, right, you can see clearly to see any issue that your partner might have or any positive that they might actually have, right? You are more clear to ask questions. And then, best of all, when there is absolutely no intimacy whatsoever, cutting off is super easy. For me, I found out as a guy that when there is no intimacy, cutting off is super easy. There is no guilt. There is no the only thing you probably miss is probably the conversations, if you guys are actually having good conversations, because that's something that no sex or no intimacy forces you to have, because it's not like, okay, we are going to talk and see if we can actually relate as human beings. We can actually plan stuff together as human beings. No lust, no anything involved, just pure normal friends, right? And so back to breaking off. When it's time to break off, it's like your conscience is so clear. I remember telling a friend that the ladies have not had any intimacy with. When it was time to break off, I told them that, look, if you put me and the lady in a court of law in front of God, I would be able to beat my chest and say, Lord, look, this lady, she came to me at 100%. She's probably not leaving me at less than 99% to 100%, because I haven't touched her, I haven't defiled her, I haven't done anything to her. I've kept her pure, I've kept her righteous before your sight, and I have not done anything to her. So even before God and man and the devil, your hands are completely clear, right? You have not done anything to her. Versus, you're dating a lady 3 years, you've been sleeping with her every other weekend, you chased away potential suitors, pictures, from her because, you wanted to, keep that rare with you, and when it was now time to break up, you are having guilty conscience because it's like, but I've been with this girl for so long and I'm not sure I can really leave. And so honestly, it's actually something I thought of sharing because look, one thing we always need to remember is that God is a righteous judge, right? We always say, "Oh Lord, judge righteously for me." We sing of how God is a righteous judge. We sing about how we want God to judge righteously. But don't forget that God also judges even the mundane matters, right? You took 3 years out of a lady's life from 25 to 28, right? The key point where she could have settled down. And then you decided she has a bad character after three years. Like, really, bro? Like, you didn't know that the first year, you didn't know that in 6 months. I subscribe to the idea that, look, anything you cannot decide in 6 months of knowing a lady, bro, let it go, man. Let it go. 6 months, if you cannot make a choice, let it go, right? She is not for you. And I say that because at the end of the day, we know that ladies, their biological clock is a lot different to guys, right? The biological clock ticks faster. Once they're in their 20s, mid to late 20s, they're in a hurry. So locking down a lady mid to late 20s, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, saying you're discovering yourself, brother, you're not the Discovery Channel. Saying you're keeping your options open, Habibi, what are you doing, right? So yeah, honestly, I think not having intimacy before sex. Not having intimacy. I honestly think not having intimacy before marriage really helps you as a guy to look at a lady critically, right? How she fits in with your plans, how she fits in with your purpose as a man, how she fits in with your vision, how she fits in with your current situation, right? You can able to look at it critically. I remember chatting with a lady who lived in another country from where I was, and she was like, come on, she doesn't think it's that bad, that there's nothing wrong with a little kissing. And I remember asking her, okay, would you mind kissing in front of the congregation on Sunday with your parents in the audience and your pastor, your most revered mentor in the audience? Whatever it is you want to do, are you willing to do it in front of all of them right there? And she kind of got a bit quiet, like, no, come on. And I was like, but that is it. And then I remember speaking to another friend again, and I was like, look, if you say kissing is fine, okay, kissing on the lips is fine, right? Okay, what if I kiss you on the neck then? What now? Is that also fine? I mean, the neck and the lips, they are not far from each other. But then, you know that the neck of a lady is really kind of like a weak spot, right? So it's really sensitive. So okay, what if I leave the neck? What if I go to her chest? What if I go to her breast, right? So it's like you keep extending, and then there are those who will say, oh, okay, I mean, if I'm already on the neck and the breast, we might as well do outer course, right? That is everything aside from penetration. So it's like the post keeps shifting, right? So that's why, honestly, if you think about it, as a guy, I would say, from my own personal experience, I'll say, look, the relationships and situations I've been in, what really saved me was I said, look, I am not going to have any contact with this person. I'm going to look at her critically, and if she's the one I'm going to get married with, it shouldn't take me more than 6 months to know. If it's taking you more than 6 months, either you are not ready to marry, or she's not, or you don't have peace of mind yet, because as a guy, I believe you should know what you want. It's like you come in, immediately, what do you want to be? Does she align with your goals? Does she align with your plans? She doesn't align, big up, big girl, have a great life, enjoy yourself, I hope you find bigger fish in the pond, right? Simple, simple and straightforward. Anyway, guys, honestly, let me know your thoughts. I would actually like to know people's thoughts about it, because I know one thing I learned recently in the country I moved to is there's this thing called canoodling, apparently, and we're like young people in youth ministry, people already have an idea that they kind of tend to wander off in groups, maybe during camp or something, and then they're having private time together, and then it's known by the leaders that they're doing something called canoodling. And I remember hearing that and thinking, bruh, isn't this meant to be like a youth church group? Like, what is a canoodling? Why is this not like cut down even at a youth church? So then these youth grew up with that mentality that, come on, little kissing and little this thing there is nothing wrong there. And then ladies, the ladies that are really smart, because ladies tend to be a lot smarter than guys at a young age, see that as an opportunity to use it to hold a guy down, right? They hold you down With intimacy, they hold you down. That's the ladies that have bad characters. They hold you down with intimacy. They hold you down with mad sex and all. And then you find it difficult to escape and to break free, and you are trapped. So yeah, I think for the Church of God and for general youth ministry, I think it's not the best to just kind of sweep these kind of things under the rug and say, oh, they're just young people committing, let them shine. No. It's and I won't be surprised if it kind of creates a dissonance in the youth's head. Like, yeah, I see my youth leaders going off into corners and canoodling, or I see my fellow youth doing that, and then you come into the church and you tell me, oh, sexual sin is bad. It's like, okay. It's like, it's causing me a cognitive dissonance. Like, is this thing bad or is it good? So yeah, honestly, I would like to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's been your boy Jazzy. Have a great day ahead and God bless.